Ephesians 2:14-18. For he himself is our peace, who has made the two one, and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility, by abolishing in his flesh the law with its commandments and its regulations. His purpose was to create in himself one new man out of the two, thus making peace. And then in this one body to reconcile both of them to God through the cross, by which he put to death their hostility. He came and preached peace to you who are far away, and peace to those who are near. For through him we have access to the Father by one Spirit.
We are divided
by race,
class,
gender,
sexuality,
religion,
politics.
We are divided by how we view division.
By how we view peace. We are divided, confined to chains, resigned to blame and hate. This is why I stay on my side of the line, because I was not designed to bend my spine to the lies you tell. So I sever ties so I can define myself rather than despise myself. Because why would I ever want to feel ashamed?
For the sins I never committed. Why should I pay and get blamed when it was someone else who did it? Fitting for a victim to complain as if I've never experienced pain or shame or guilt? Is the point of justice just to tilt the scales back the other way? Would you oppress me if you had the chance? Is fairness just a seesaw of demands, a dance to decide who's damned?
You will never understand me. You will never listen to my story. Even if I tried to fix it, you would still ignore me.
So we wait for a salvation that will never come. A Savior that only seeks to care about life after this one is done.
My God, why have you forsaken us? When will you awaken us from the sleep in which we've fallen? Are you a God who answers prayers because I'm tired of always calling? You're stalling on your liberation because I still endure these chains. And Martin may have had... You're stalling on your liberation because I still endure these chains. And Martin may have had a dream, but these nightmares still remain. The pain is fresh like dogs upon my flesh. My heart is growing weak. If you're a God who heals the broken, now's the time to speak, because a better world is breathing. I can hear her in the night. But God, I'm losing hope right now. I'm falling in this fight. But Christ, our liberator, is here. Those who were once far off are now near. For love's resurrection, we had to build a coffin for our fears. We will dig a grave for these tears, because we're standing on level ground. We were both lost and now are found.
And God, being rich in mercy because of the great love with which he loved us, even as he rounded the corner into destruction and death, made us alive together with Christ. And this Christ had no form or majesty that we should look at him. He had no beauty that we should desire him. God, born in the form of his own creation in the Bethlehem equivalent of an East Oakland public restroom, he came. Not in power, but in poverty he came. Not wielding a sword, but clothed in humility, he came to be despised by men and forsaken by God.
And when he arrived, his destiny was wrath. Knowing the weight of war, the sting of our suicide, and the scope of his creation's devastation, as it pierced his very skin, he bled every toxic tear that we would shed. He broke with a violent, my God, why have you forsaken me?
The cross of Jesus didn't just rescue me from poor decisions, as if God only loved those who loved him back, as if he only helped those who helped themselves, as if he were a doctor who came to heal those who were already well, as if he had no gospel to tell. No good news for those who had been expelled from wealth living in a hell on earth. The cross means we all have worth. Grace means I am no better than a murderer, no worse than a saint. Whether Jew or Gentile, white, Latino, Asian, Native, or any shade of black skin, beautiful as if categories could capture us.
We see brokenness and division all around us. If the gospel has nothing to say about this, then it is not good news. This earth was created to be holy, so take off your shoes. But it's been bruised, broken by blame, shattered by shame and strained relationships. The place God had designed to be perfect, littered in pain. But Christ came into the human situation.
He came to recreate the world as the good it was supposed to be, absorbing into himself the stain of brokenness. He crumbled himself, endured to discord to restore harmony. A God who was not to remain distant, who possessed no fear in his perfect love, he came and brokenness was broken.
Shame was put to shame.
Hostility held hostage.
Pain slain.
Division destroyed.
Death in its grave. We are saved. From the systems that oppress us and from our own self-loathing fears, the world still stands imperfect, but there is redemption for these tears.
Because when God trembles with passion for his people, the earth shakes. Mountains move, the great waters dance, and the greatest man-made wall, whether of brick or hostility, crumble in the presence of his love for us.
God has reconciled us to himself.
He has reconciled us to each other.
He has reconciled me to myself.
By the grand wounds of this humble King, we are healed. The chains that held division in place are erased by grace, so we might embrace each other with unveiled faces.
But do you have the courage to open your arms